Wow. Well, good morning, champions. Grateful to hear from each and every single one of you. Welcome to the Breakfast of Champions call. I heard people from all over the world, but today I have a very important message, and I wonder if this resonates with you. It is February 5th as I'm doing this live. And let me know if any of these statements resonate with you. Have you ever said to yourself things like, I don't know if I can handle this anymore? I feel so overwhelmed. I feel like I don't have enough time in a day. How am I going to do this? I'm so tired. I'm so drained. You don't even have enough words. You just take a sigh. Have you ever felt like you were burning out or burnt out? You were burning the candle from both ends of the stick. You're taking care of your family while taking care of your business, while taking care of your goals, while trying to move forward. You feel like you're juggling 10 plates and they're all falling at the very same time. Well, champion, today I want to relate with you because that's how my year has felt until I shared with you. I did the things I'm about to share with you. So today I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why you feel burned out, and more importantly, how to avoid that. This is going to be one you're going to want to save, you're going to want to share, because I will promise you this. This is a cycle that we're going to continue to go through, because on the journey of achieving your God-sized goals, guess what? There's going to be these pivot moments that you have to get to a new level. You guys ready for this? So let's dive into this. All right. The last one, by the way, is the most important. And if you're patient with me, it's going to be a personal note on that one. But number one reason why we burn out is that we lose hope in our vision. We lose hope in our vision. And guys, I just want to let you know this is something that you're going to deal with all the time, because I've been in the same business for 13 plus years. So I've been through many seasons. I've been through doubt. I've been through betrayal. I've been through denial. I've been through burnout after burnout after burnout. So the one of the big secrets to success in life is knowing, how do we counter this inevitable feeling? How do we get over this and overcome it? And it works, but it's important, right? Success is an endurance game. So many people, they can launch fast and they can have a great vision and they can go for it for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year. But can you last the test of time? Here's a quick quote, by the way, on why it's important to have consistency as we dive into this, is remember that if you're in network marketing, but I believe any dream is like this, there's a quote that if you stick with the same company for 10 years, 95% of people achieve dreams beyond their wildest imagination. So think about your wildest imagination. Think about the life that you want, the business that you want, the success that you want. Top that. Do you want that? Yes. But are you able to get over the burnout that happens within that period, because you have to be able to sustain for 10 years? My goal is to be able to shortcut that, by the way. All right. So we've lost hope in our vision. Vision is the starting point of all achievement. Vision is so important because that's what pulls you to do the things that you typically don't want to do. It's important to have a captivating vision, because if you don't see the prize, you will not pay the price. All right. So I'm going to imagine you already have a vision, because if you've been plugging into these calls, we've talked a lot about vision. Maybe a vision statement. Maybe you did Cindy McKnight's vision statement workshop. Maybe you have a goal that's in front of it. So I want to be very specific. I'm not saying that you lack a vision. Of course, if you lack a vision, go get a vision, right? But specifically, the words is, we've lost hope in our vision. Let me be honest. How many times have you had a goal that you started to not look at it anymore because the circumstances that you're experiencing make it look like that vision is impossible? You set some God-sized goals in your business. You wanted to hit your next promotions. You wanted to be able to make X amount of money. You wanted to have the dream body, whatever that it is. A month came by in 2025, and you look at your business and you look at your vision, and you're like, how is it even possible? I feel like it's so hard to enroll my next customer. I feel like it's so hard to have a team that's growing with me. My income, I see where it's at right now. How is it possible I'm going to 10x my income? And you start letting the circumstances of your life dictate and shape your vision. Champion, I want to challenge you on this, is that it's in moments like these that we have to respark that hope in the vision. So, how do we make sure that we can avoid this first part of burnout? Well, we have to respark the vision. How do you respark the vision? My challenge to you is go revisit that vision. We have to get the emotion of the vision once again. Have you read your goals recently? Have you visualized your goals recently? Have you visited your dreams recently? Something that my mentor taught me to do is to go visit and touch my dreams. For example, let's say one of your dreams is a dream vacation. Have you looked online and have you started putting together this dream vacation? Have you gone on Google Flights and actually imagined as if you were planning this, and have you planned out your flights? Have you planned out your destinations? Do you know where you're going to go? Do you know what you're going to see? Do you know when you would want to do it? Are you acting as if it's already done? And are you planning it out? So, some of us might need to put more detail to our vision, because if in your mind's eye it is more real to you than what it is you see in your circumstances, you will start getting that spark of your dream once again. I had this thought yesterday because I've been having these really interesting dreams. You get some interesting dreams sometimes. And isn't it interesting that in our dreams, during the time that we're in the dream, it feels so real, doesn't it? Even though the circumstances are physically impossible many times. You might be floating in the air, you might be doing some crazy things, you might be time traveling, I don't know. But isn't it interesting that during that time in our dream state, we believe everything that's happening is real? It got me to think this way. If we can psych ourselves out during our dream state to believe that these impossible, seemingly impossible things are possible, why can't we pull that into our current present reality? Why can't we think our ways into the vision that we want? Why can't we imagine ourselves that these visions are absolutely possible? You have to condition yourself to believe once again and hope again in the vision that you have. So, number one, to avoid burnout is to respark hope back into your vision. Some of us need to do that today. Number two, reason why you feel burned out. You might have a vision, but we're pouring from an empty cup. We're pouring from an empty cup. All right. It's an adage of if you're in a plane and the plane goes down, God forbid, and prayers for, gosh, all the people that have been affected by the plane stuff that's been going on in recent times. But imagine if your plane has this crazy turbulence or starts to go down. They say put the oxygen mask not on your spouse first, not on your children first, not on your friends first, not on your teammates first. Who does it go first on? Yourself. Why? Because if you're not there, you can't help anyone else. The most selfless thing you can do is to be selfish. The most selfless thing you could do is to be selfish. And what I mean by that, you have to make sure that every single day, are you filling yourself up first? You know what I realized? Because this year has been crazy. We've been navigating major leadership transitions in our organization. We've been doing corporate work. We've been putting together major initiatives that we believe are billion-dollar initiatives. I've been juggling newfound father duties, being to make sure that I can be there for my wife, for my child, to make sure, and we've been traveling. There's a lot of things that have been going on. And if I'm to be honest with you, there's been many days where I just felt drained. You know what I realized? I compromised. And I needed to make sure that daily, and I'm back on it now, by the way, which I'm fired up, and you can too, is every day, are you prioritizing filling yourself up? What does that look like? Are you doing things for your spiritual life? For me, prayer, worship, getting into the word. Are you doing things for your health? I neglected my physical health for a while because I'm like, oh, I'll get to it later. Who here knows that if you don't make time for your health, your body will force you to make time for it. So I'm hitting the gym again. Even though it's not as much as I want, I'm doing something. I'm making little baby steps. I'm drinking my water. I'm taking my supplements. I'm doing my things. I'm eating better. Are you doing things for your mind? Like being on this Breakfast of Champions call, feeding your mind. So I need to make sure, you need to make sure that you fill in your cup first. And that'll make sure that you can fill others from an overflowing cup. So number 2 reason why you burn yourself out is you're pouring from an empty cup. Number 3 reason, this is big, we've become reactive to life, not responsive. Have you ever felt this way, that you wake up and it just feels like it's a massive to-do list? You wake up, you check your phone, emails are hitting you left and right. You check your notifications, it feels like they never end. It feels like you just get dragged from one drama to another fire you need to put out. And at the end of the day, you're like, where did my day go? Champion, if you feel that way, more than likely, you are now in a reactive state. You have the opportunity to dictate how your day can go. And we have to choose if we want to be impactful, if we want to drive towards your God-sized goal, if we want to not be burned out, if we want to hit the priorities in our life, we have to learn how to be responsive, not reactive. What does that mean? Here's a very practical thing that you could do, because I found myself in this place as well too. I was putting out fires left and right all the time. I'm like, man, I'm not getting my stuff done. Take a calendar, take your last day, take your last 7 days, and actually jot down, what did I actually do every single day? And if you're honest with yourself, it's like stepping on the scale. More than likely, you are doing urgent but non important things. Emails are not important typically. Responding to many, I run a big organization. I have people messaging me all the time with a lot of problems, a lot of questions. If I'm to be honest with you, that's not always the biggest priority right away. Why? Because we have systems in place. You know, I realize as a leader, if I'm too quick to always be readily available to any question by anyone, I'm actually doing a disservice for my team and for my partners. You know why? I'm training them to lean on me rather than training them to lean on a system, for example. I'm not teaching them how to fish, I'm giving them a fish. And yes, while I might feel like I'm important and needed, I'm actually not helping empower them to become the champion that they are. That someone needed to hear today. Okay. So when I'm responsive, I look at the day again. I'm like, how do I make this better? So instead, I can drive them to a tool. Instead, I can put them onto a call. Instead, I need to make sure that I am prioritizing my daily personal pipeline, for example, my daily personal business. I need to lead from the front. So now I have dedicated blocks of time where I'm still doing my own personal marketing, my own personal recruiting, my own personal sales. All right. And then I've dedicated blocks where then I'm putting out some fires if needed. I have dedicated time to go serve and support my leaders. I've dedicated time for my family, right? So everything has its place. You can do it all, but you have to be specific about how you handle these things, and you must become responsive, not reactive. Okay? I hope this is clicking so far. 2 more. Why do we burn out? 4th one. Our priorities are off. Our priorities are off. I don't know if you resonate with this at all, but I fall victim to this lack of prioritization. I had a very serious conversation with my wife in this new season of our life because, to be honest, I was putting my business and my goals first. And that sounds good, right? It sounds like you have to be obsessed. It sounds like you have to be focused. And it sounds like, hey, let me put myself in a season of sacrifice and make sure that I do my business first. And then I can do the other stuff. You know what I realized? That's a lie from the enemy, right? That's an absolute lie. There will always be, someone needs to hear this, there will always be another mountaintop to climb. There will always be another goal to achieve. There will always be other opportunities. But we need to make sure that our big rocks are in there first. And what is that? For me, and it might be the same for you, it might not be the same for you. Here's the priorities. Number 1, God first. I got to plug into my source. I got to give credit to where credit's due. I got to make sure I'm plugged in with my faith. So every day, are my priorities God first? Second, family. Family. Am I being an amazing husband to my wife? Am I being an amazing dad to my son? Am I being a great family member to my family? Am I being a great friend to other people? If that comes secondary to business, guess what? My relationships, your relationships will always be hurting because that is felt. So, family, number two. Then, number three is business. God, family, business. And, many times I believe the lie that I had to put business first to get the other things in. I've realized God blesses when we put things into priority. He supernaturally opens opportunities for you to have more business. He supernaturally gives you favor to do the things that only matter in your business. And I've noticed that if you do it his way, if you do it with this priority, while you might have seemingly less time, it's like more time is created. Like I've just seen this to be the case, and you have more joy. Why are you burned out? Because the things you're doing this for, your family typically, you're not actually spending time with them, quality time with them. You're actually not connecting with them. You're not having a date night. You're not enjoying your time with your kids. You're not having quality relationships. So if you feed that first, it will fuel you to actually go back into your business to be stronger. So put priorities first. I hope you're still with me. So let me recap so far before we get into number 5, what I believe is the most important one. Why do we burn out? We've lost hope in our vision. We pour from an empty cup. We become reactive. Our priorities off. Here's the last one. For me, I believe the most important one. It may not be for you, but I have to be honest. The last reason why I get burned out is I find that I'm seeking the wrong thing. You see, they say that I believe the greatest failure in life is climbing up the top of the ladder and getting to it and looking around and realize you climbed up the wrong wall. What is the wrong wall? In business, so many times I'm chasing the next promotion. I'm chasing the next lifestyle achievement that I want. I'm sure like you, to have an amazing life for my family, for my kids. I want to make sure that I have enjoyed an incredible life. Like I want a lot of cool things, but I was hit with like a brick in my quiet time today. I feel like God highlighted a scripture to me, and I want to submit this to you. It may or may not resonate with you, but it resonated with me. And get this. This is Proverbs 23, 4-5. It says this. This is Solomon, by the way. Solomon was the wealthiest person in history, multi-trillionaire, if you took his wealth and he brought it to today's time. And this is from the wealthiest person that ever lived, the wisest person that ever lived, said this: do not overwork to be rich. Isn't that interesting? Solomon, the wealthiest person in the world, says this. Because of your own understanding, cease. And another translation says, stop doing things with your own wisdom. Why? Will you set your eyes on that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away like an eagle towards heaven. Who here's ever seen your money fly away, by the way? It comes and goes. And this checked me. Because the reality is this: every single thing that is external to us, every accolade, every achievement, every goal, every bit of wealth that we create, all of that are good things, but it should not be the main thing. Why? They're fleeting, they're temporal. But if we want to make sure that we're constantly not burned out, then we have to set ourselves on the most important thing. And for me, God first. Maybe that's for you as well too. Am I seeking him first in all things? But also, are you seeking purpose and service? If you find yourself in a way, here's a good goal. Here's a God goal. Deploy yourself in the service of other people. You know what I found interesting is sometimes when I have a bad day, woe is me, victim mindset, business doesn't go well, life goes well. I've noticed the moment I'm helping someone else, it's like my problems disappear at that moment. Have you noticed that? We get joy when we serve fellow man and woman. We get purpose and fulfillment when we help someone else. So don't chase the money, chase the purpose, chase the service. Put that first. For me, love God first, love my friends as myself. Jesus said that in his sermon. If you do the same thing, you will find that you will have an overwhelming sense of joy, purpose, and fulfillment, and you will be able to overcome burnout and have a newfound stamina to be able to endure to the things that you want to be able to do. All right, I end up with this note. This year's been tough. I'll be honest with you, personally. A lot of stress, a lot of leadership stuff, a lot of personal stuff, a lot of financial things, a lot of stuff. Ever felt that way? You're hard pressed from all sides. And I started feeling burned out. And I'm like, but I've been through this before. And I started to go through these again. And now what I've realized is this: if you feel like you're in that place of burnout, I will promise you this: that if you're experiencing that now, that means that you are at the end of one chapter, an old part of yourself, and you have the opportunity to rise up in the next level. In order for new things to come, we must kill the things of the past. So it means that if you're burning out, more than likely, things that were important before might not be as important now. Things that you were doing before, maybe you shouldn't be doing anymore. Things that you were concerned about, maybe we need to level those up. The way that we were thinking, the way that we were acting before needs to change now. And if you take these 5 points of resparking your vision, of making sure that you're filled first, of making sure you're responsive, of putting your priorities in line and seeking the right things, you will get elevated to the next level and have a new level of endurance. Because while this last chapter may have burned you out and may have torn you down, guess what? You rest a little bit, you get back up, and that thing that was a ceiling before is now your floor for your next level of you. To champion, I hope this was encouraging. You might want to share this with somebody. You might want to tag this with someone. Remember, all these replays are on bocpodcast.com. I needed this, and I'm so excited because I truly believe in this year of freedom that you too will experience levels of freedom in your business, your life, your everything like you've never had before if you take things like this seriously. All right. Other than that, God bless. I'm going to turn it back to you. Have a great one. Talk soon.